Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you if you're watching us live right now, or if you're going to be watching later, that's awesome as well. Either way, we'd love for you to drop us a comment or just send us an email and tell us what you think of today's presentation that we have. So, we're going to be sharing some tips for Microsoft Office today, and the person doing that is none other than Tech Eagle's owner and president, Tim Meredith. So, without further ado, I'm going to kick it over to Tim and he will take you through these tips.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tim Meredith, and it's my privilege to share some tips that have really helped my productivity personally. I am going to be using the current version of Outlook 365 for our demonstration today. There are lots of different versions of Outlook, I'm well aware. And if you cannot follow some of the things I'm demonstrating, you can always search YouTube for the features and your version of Outlook and watch how that's implemented. I have not customized my version of Outlook yet, and I am using an older or an alternate account that has just largely gotten a bunch of spam emails, but not my real account. But with that, let's jump into it and get started. So this is my Outlook right here, just a standard Outlook. And the first tip I'm going to share is use folders, action, saved. So I love making folders action and saved and using that. And I'm going to go up here to my account name. This is your account name, all your folders under that. So I'm going to right click on my account name and create a new folder and call it action. Already must have it somewhere. Yep, action and then saved. Let me just delete those real quick. I'll delete one so you can see me make this one. Create a new folder, action. Okay, and let's just pretend I created this folder saved. Okay, now I'm going to organize them. I'm going to drag. I like to have inbox first and action second. So I'm going to click it and drag action below inbox. And then I like to have saved. I could click this folder and move this somewhere too, but I like it action or inbox, action, saved. Okay. And then you'll notice a bunch of, I have some other folders that I've already made. You might have other folders that you keep things in that you've made. I am just going to drag all of these folders right into the saved folder. And you see how when I drag it, I could drag it underneath saved, and that's the black line, but I can drag it into saved, and that's highlights it in blue. I'm just going to drag all of these folders that I have right into the saved folder. And I just have 3 demonstration folders, family, hobbies, and work, for saved emails that I could have. And that way, when I drag them all into saved, I can just close the save folder, and it all goes away. Sometimes this is a really long list for some of you, and you can just minimize the list, close the chevron, and it buttons it all up. So I love these 3 folders.
Hey, Tim, so if someone were to
Yes,
accidentally drop a folder into the wrong folder, is it easy to pull it back out?
it's very easy. You just grab that folder and pull it out. I can pull that out here. I can pull it out, a folder out here. It's always going to prompt me to ask if I want to do that. But yeah, I can easily pull them out.
Awesome.
I'm going to put them right back in there. Okay, and I like using this system, inbox action saved. I have used a lot of systems. I've tried a lot of different things. I leave inbox just for the stuff that I need to process, for things that have come in the since I last processed or checked the email. If I have to do anything with the email at all, reply, or even if it's the smallest little thing, I just drag it to action and just drop it in there. I'm just going to, most of this is spam, but I'm just going to drop oh, I dropped it in the wrong folder, but that's okay. I'm just going to drop some pretend things in action. Okay. Let's just say I want to take action on all of those, but there's some others here that I want to just keep. I don't need to do anything with them, but I'm just going to keep them just for historical reasons. So I might just drag these into saved. Now, later I might go back and put them in the right folders, or you might do like me. I actually don't have folders. I just have one large saved bucket, but you might want to categorize them historically, put them in individual folders. Okay, and so now I'm left with everything else. I mean, I don't care about everything else. I don't want to do anything with it. I don't want to keep it. I'm just going to delete them all. So I'm just going to select them all and delete. Get on here. I'll hit Control A, and then I'll hit delete, and it deletes them all. So I have a nice clean inbox. If I come back to it and I don't have a clean inbox, I know, oh, I got 7 emails since I last looked, etc. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to move them to action, or move them to saved, or delete them. And then when I'm ready to process them, the emails, I can come here and I can start taking action on them. And I'm not a slave to this. If I'm working on something, I can move these to the folders real quickly. And I'm used to doing it like this, and it really doesn't interrupt me. I just keep working on what I'm working on. I can rest assured that when it's time for me to process all this stuff, nothing is going to get forgotten. I'm going to take action on everything. It gives me peace of mind. Okay, that is use folders and saved actions. Next is scheduling the emails. I love scheduling emails. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce this current window, and I'm going to open up a second instance of Outlook with my calendar. So I'm going to right click on my little calendar icon over here, and I'm going to select open in a new window, and it's going to open up a second window with my calendar. I'm going to drag this calendar. Usually I would drag them side by side. If I have 2 screens, I might drag it one onto one screen and one on the other. Because I have Windows 11, I can do this and select this, and it nicely formats them side by side. So here are all the emails I want to take action on. Let's say I want to schedule something. Schedule an email. Well, I could just drag it and drop it. It makes an appointment. Yep, I can change it if I want to, but I don't need to. So I'm just going to save it. Boom, it's right there. I could extend the time. I could drag it to another date. I could put other emails there on my calendar. I can, I can stack them. Now I have 2. I could even have 3 if I wanted to. I can have them all together because sometimes it might not take much time to process it or to reply. Maybe I just have to reply or something. So it's not uncommon for me to put 3 or 4 emails right together. I could just schedule a time. Hey, I'm not going to schedule these emails. I'm just going to schedule a time. Hey, process all my emails in action. Okay. I give myself 30 minutes to do that. Okay. Now, you might be wondering how I'm looking at 10-minute increments here. That's customizable. You can change. You can set how many increments are showing in time or showing on your calendar. And I think you do that with view, and you can change your time scale. View and hit the ellipses, or maybe if it's big enough, yeah, time scale appears on here. The ellipsis comes into play mostly when your monitor is not big enough for your entire toolbar. So if some things don't show up, aren't shown on your toolbar, click the ellipses and they might be right there. But here in this, we want to set the time scale. I could set it to 30 minutes. I think 30 minutes is the default. So it's 8, 8, or 2, 2:30, 3, 3:30, or set it to every 15 minutes, 15-minute increments. I don't think I prefer, I use 10-minute increments. So I'll just leave it at that, okay? And that is scheduling emails. Now, next up is quick steps. This is a little more advanced email. I'm going to put a few back into my inbox just to demonstrate this. Okay. Something I like to do, and you might have a longer workflow too, like this. I like to set the importance of an email, make it important, make a task for the email so I don't forget it, and then I'm going to move it into the action folder. And that's kind of complicated. That takes a lot of steps. To set the importance, I have to open the email, click this little button up here. It's perfectly intuitive to click. Everybody knows you need to click these buttons. Message option, set importance. This is crazy. Close, close, yes. I had to do all of that just to get this, just to set the importance on this guy. Then I'm going to I want to create a task for it. So I'm going to open my task window, just like I did my calendar window earlier. I want to go to my tasks, and I'm going to drag this over to make a task. Yep, it makes a task for me, so don't forget it. And I'm going to move this email. Let's just see, I can move it to my saved folder because this task has what I need. What I need to know, what I need to do. So I don't have to move it to my action. I could just move it to saved. Well, that was a lot. So I'm gonna undo a lot of stuff I did. And let me take the importance off of this too. It's crazy that I have to go here to importance off. Okay. It's kind of complicated. It's a lot of steps, but I can make a quick step to do all of these actions right away. So I'm going to right click, choose quick step. Right click, choose quick step, create new. Okay, I'm going to name it. I'll call this importance high. I'm going to choose an action, and I'll look here to see if there's an action I want. Yes, I would like to change its importance. I can set it to whatever. Oh, I would like to set it to high. So this quick action is going to set the importance to high. I can add another action. I also want to make a task. I want to create a task with this message. Let me see if I want to do more. And I'm going to move this to folder saved. And now I have a quick action. And anytime I choose this quick action, it does all of these steps for me. Boom, makes it a task. Here's the task. Moves it to saved. Set its importance. Let's go to task and see. Yep, made a task. Very nice. Saved me a lot of time to make a quick step. And you can make lots of quick steps, not just a few. Now,
So basically, Tim, on that, if you have any actions inside your email that you repeat over and over, try making a quick step, and it'll save
correct.
you a lot of time. Correct?
Correct.
Cool.
Correct. Especially if it's a complicated action. There's some actions like reply all or forward, or if it's a simple action and if it's on a button up here, maybe you might not need to make a quick step for it. But if it's a multi-step action, or it's a complicated action that might be buried somewhere in some setting, that is a perfect opportunity for making a quick step.
Yeah, I think just marking the email as an importance high, I think that alone took you
Just
from
mark
like 5 or 6 clicks down to like 2.
It did. Absolutely. Yeah. It's worth it just for the marketing mark importance. Yep. I agree. Awesome. Okay. Next is flagging emails. And you'll notice a little flag right here. Okay. Let's go to my action emails I want to take action on. Oh, I want to flag, let's say I want to flag this one. I do it tomorrow. Yep, it flags it. It's it for tomorrow. Okay. When I go to tasks and a to-do, I can see this is flagged to be done tomorrow. What is the difference between to-dos and tasks, you might wonder? I had to search for this for a long time. A task is a unique and separate object. It's its own thing. A task is its own thing. You can open up this task, work with it, change it, put notes in it, reassign it if you want, mark it complete, etc. And it's not going to affect this email, your email at all. But your to-dos are not a separate entity. They're just flags for existing entities. Okay. Let's go back and see what that email is. Need guidance. Okay. Need guidance. If I delete that email, this thing is going to be, it's going to go away. Let's see if that's true. 'Cause it went away because it's the to-do is not really an object. It's just flags of existing objects. So that email, when I deleted that email, this to-do is gone. It doesn't make any sense. But I can delete this other email complying with the new I-9 and EBER. Let's see that. Here it is. Here's that email right here. I can delete this email and your task doesn't go away because this is not the email. It was a task made from the email. So there's a difference between to-dos and tasks. If you just flag emails as needing done, this just is a notice on the email itself. It doesn't make a separate task. I like making tasks because if something happens to the email, the task is still there. There's a lot of other reasons why I like tasks rather than just simple flags, but you'll have preferences. Okay, so that's flagged emails. Next up is categories. And set categories. Just get rid of this flag, clear the flag. You can set categories on these. On your emails, on your appointments, on your tasks. You can set different categories on them. What do I mean by categories? Well, a common category is work. Another is family, and I like hobby too. So I have 3 emails: work, family, and hobby. And I'm going to make categories and categorize them. Okay, you do that by right-clicking, go into category, go to all categories. Here they come up. They're the defaults. I always leave the blue category alone. I don't mess with it. Technically, the default on my calendar is light blue. So dark blue, which this is dark blue, is technically colorized, but it confuses me when it's blue. So I just leave blue alone. I just leave the default color alone. Instead, I use green for family. I might use purple for hobby and orange for work. Okay. You can rename these. I renamed mine to family, hobby, and work. I think it was that's how you rename them, or you can delete them. Okay. So I'm going to categorize this. Okay, this is hobby. So categorize this is work, and this is okay. So it categorizes them. So it's very helpful to me to see what's a work email, what's a hobby email, and what's a family email. When I'm doing calendars, calendar appointments, if I drag it over, notice it's the same color. It's orange. Same for family, it would be green. Very nice. If I did a task, if I drag a task over, it has a green category. It was categorized correctly from the email because it knew I had set a category on the email. Very handy. Very nice to use categories. I am just scratching the surface of how to use them.
Yeah, and a lot of these tips that Tim has shown so far can be combined with quick steps that he showed earlier. So you can make a quick step to assign category as well. But it's a great time saving thing. Just imagine you do go through and categorize your emails and schedule them all on your calendar. You can see at a glance really quickly what category you're coming up to work on, if it's your work stuff or your family, or if maybe it's a hobby, or you might have a friend's calendar or anything else.
Yep.
I've seen Tim's real calendar and it looks like a Christmas tree sometimes. I love it. So
Yep. Okay, next up is going to be task lists. I'm going to right click and open a new window again for my task list. And this here are your tasks, okay? And so I am going to focus on task lists, not to-dos. To-do is simply a flag of an existing object, a flag of an email, a flag of an appointment, a flag of a task. Instead, I like focusing on tasks. And I can just drag the email over and it will make a task for me. I can just leave the start due date and status and everything just as it is. I could change it if I want to, but who cares? Anyway. But this is just a task. This is not the email itself. Okay. I might make the task and then I'm done with it. So I might drag it into saved, but now it might be buried and might be hard to find. Or is it? I want to reply to it. I don't know where it is. Okay. I can just copy the title. It makes the title of this task from the subject line of the email. And I can just paste it and search for it. And lo and behold, it comes up. And then I can reply to it from here if I need to. But it was a task. So I remembered I had that information. I could search for it easily. I just copied the title, pasted it here in the search window. And searched for it and it came up. Okay. But because it's a task, I can put my notes in here. I can assign it to TJ and it will appear on this task list. I just assign it to TJ. But I can still see it. Okay. There is a whole lot with tasks. It opens up a lot of worms. So I'm just going to leave it right there. I love dragging emails over and automatically making tasks from emails.
yeah, I'm a huge user of Task inside Microsoft because I also use one of their other programs called Microsoft To Do. And so all of this is interconnected. Anytime I flag an email or create a task inside Outlook, it also goes over to that app. And that's how I try to organize my day. So that's something you can play around with too if you really like using Task.
Yep, I am just going to delete this task. And next up is customizing your view. Okay. Minimize this task again. Maximize this window. Look at the actions again. And I'm going to go to View and change view. Now, let me just pause here one moment and say, customizing view is very powerful, but it is also very dangerous. And we get a lot of calls. Oh my, this is gone. Oh my, this is this is messed up. How can we get this back? And 50% of the time it has to do with a view. But views are very powerful. So you can change the view. You have these 3 default views: compact, single pane, preview. Okay. I'm going to create a new view, and I'm going to customize it. But I never mess with these defaults. I always save current view as a new view. I'm going to call it Tim's sort. Why not? I'm going to apply it to all mail and folders. Okay. So now I haven't done anything. It's just a copy, but you see I have 4 views now instead of 3. I always do. I never customize these 3 defaults. I just leave them like they are. I will go to Tim's sort is the view selected, and I'm going to manage the views. I'm going to go to Tim's sort. I'm going to modify it. Wow, this looks complicated. Lots of stuff. I've only explored conditional formatting. Okay. I would like email. So I'm going to do some conditional formatting. You can see this is where a lot of things are already done, like unread messages. Unread messages come in with a blue font, a custom font. Okay. I could change this color to red if I want to. And then all the items are going to be red when they come in. You see how this changed to red? Okay. I could unread group headers. Let's see about that. That bolds it. That's where the bold comes in. Okay. Unread messages. Could change. I could change the font to this weird font. Make it italics. Look at that. Yep. Okay. Well, now what did I do?
While Tim's looking at that, I'm going to throw you all in a bonus tip for this too. If you ever log into your email and you see a bunch of conditional formatting, such as the red and stuff like that, that you know you did not do, first you need to check with your IT. And if they don't know anything about it, it's a good indication that your email's been compromised. So always be looking for changes and things of that sort like that. Like I said, always check with your IT team. They'll know before anybody else will if any of those have been pushed out or if it's something that someone set up for you.
All right. So what I'm going to do here is, let's say I want to say conditional formatting. I'm going to make something new, and I'll call this from P. Meredith. From this person, I can change the font, but I really want to notice it. So I might make it fuchsia and bold. So anything from, oh, and I gonna make the condition here. I've called the rule from T Meredith. I've changed the font, but I have to tell it. Okay, so I have to tell it. Okay, if it's from, it's from this email address. Okay, let's see if this is going to work. Oh, that didn't work. Let me try it one more time. Meredith, conditions. Ah, that worked. See how that changed the color? So anytime I get any emails from T Meredith, a focused inbox, I want to send a new email. Okay, let's here, but this is really nice. One thing I have in my email box is we have a automation system that automatically sends out notifications, but it's not a person, it's just an automatic notification from a machine. And I colorize them so that I know which ones are from real people and which ones are from a machine. It's not colorizing this one. Wonder if it colorizes it in action. Yep. So I must have set it so that it takes effect only in the folder I'm in. Only in the action folder. Okay, well, as you can see, conditional formatting is powerful and easy to mess up. Okay, next is delayed sending.
I just want to pop in here, Tim, before you even get started on this one. This is my favorite one.
Oh yeah.
And this is also the tip that you'll see all over the internet as the save your job tip. So
yes,
you will see as Tim explains it.
I mean, I can't remember the number of times I've like sent an email like, oh man, I forgot the attachment. Oh man, I meant to send it to blah blah blah, so and so. Oh, I can't believe I just wrote this. So wouldn't it be nice if I could take it all back and redo it again? But you can't, because it's sent when it's sent right away, it's delivered and you can't take it back. But if you could just delay the sending a few minutes, let's say 5 minutes, have a 5-minute delay, then you could go back and, oh man, I meant to, you could go to your sent folder and see, we'll see where it is. You could theoretically stop it if there was like a 5-minute delay. So to do that, to enable a delay, we're going to create a rule to enable the delay. So I'm going to go up here to my ellipses, and I'm going to make a rule and I'm not going to hit create rule. I'm going to hit manage rules and alerts. I'm going to pull up the screen here. I'm going to hit new rule. I'm going to start from blank note, a blank rule. And I'm going to apply a rule on a message when I send it. I'm going to skip this because I want the rule to apply anytime I send it. This rule will be applied to every message you send. Is this correct? Yes. Although you could change that, but do this when the rule is sent. Do this. Let me see if I could. Here's deferred delivery by a number of minutes. I want to defer delivery, and let's defer delivery by 5 minutes. I clicked on this at 5 and I said 5 minutes. Okay. Except now I'm going to always have it always do this, but I could list an exception, make an exception, put a special character in the subject line so it sends right away, for example. Oh, name the rule. Okay. Okay. There's the rule. So I'm going to send this email, DJ. And now I'm going to see if I can find it. Sent. Maybe TJ could jump in and say where it's going to be located before it sends.
So if you go down a couple of spots from where you are, you'll see Outbox. So it will be right underneath your junk mail.
Oh, yeah.
It will store it in Outbox until it's time to send. And while it's in your Outbox, you can actually right click on it and hit delete. And that will stop it from going completely. So it saved me a time or two from accidentally sending something to someone that had no business getting that. Just one of those habit things. Because honestly, it only takes sending the wrong thing to the wrong person at a time, and a lot of trouble. Especially if you are someone who has to abide by certain compliances such as HIPAA or CMMC or anything of that nature. So, got to be very careful with that stuff. And this is my favorite tip overall of all the tips that we share today. This is my favorite one.
Awesome. Okay. Now we're moving on to conditional formatting. And I think I went over this when I was talking about customizing your view.
Correct. Yep. And that's where you had it show up in pink. Yep. So
I combined them both.
Yeah, and conditional formatting, like Tim had said, does a lot of useful things that you can do to basically make your inbox easier to where you can view it the way that you want to, whether it's colors or setting categories automatically. So it works hand in hand, kind of similar to quick steps, but these are quick steps that run automatically. So think of them kind of that way.
And the last thing I want to look at is the web version. For most people that are using 365, there is a web version of this too. This is the application version, but there is a web version, and this is the web version for my actual email. There were some difficulties in getting the web version for the other email client, the demo email client, but this is my actual email, and it looks very similar. In fact, there's very little I cannot do on the web version that I can do on the on-premise version, and Microsoft is merging the two slowly, such that the on-premise version is going to look and act the same as the web version. There's lots of benefits to the web version, and I would encourage you to learn the URL outlook.office.com/mail, and you can log in from any computer and you look at your personal webmail. You could log in from home and look at your work email. You could log in from another coworker's computer. It's a big help if something happens to your computer and it goes down, or if you get your password, or if it gets locked for any reason. You can still go to somebody else's computer and interact with your email. Very, very nice. But it's going to be hard to do if you need to do it right away. If something happens, oh no, what was that URL again? So practice it before you need it, because when the time comes and you're desperate, we all kind of lose our heads a little bit, and you might need to contact your IT department in order to get the URL and get your web. But those are 10 tips for Microsoft Outlook. As you can imagine, there are probably 10,000 tips, but it is the tool I and probably you use more than any other, at least at most, or as much as any other tool to manage your workflow. And it is worth taking 30 minutes or an hour and customizing Outlook a little bit to make your life and your workflow a little bit easier.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was a lot of information we threw at you today. So this video will be available for you to rewatch on either of our Facebook pages, whether our Bristol or our Florida location Facebook, as well as our YouTube. So you can find all that stuff at our website, techeagles.com. Very powerful tips to learn and look through. Whether you intend to use them or not, I would still suggest kind of going back and viewing and learning what they are, because they can also help solve a lot of your everyday issues that you may actually see in Outlook. Tim, you got anything else before we cut off for the day?
Nope. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great one.
Everybody have a great holiday season. Merry Christmas. We're here if you need us in any form or fashion. If you need to go over some of these tips with us or one of our techs, just let us know. But other than that, we'll see you all next time, and you all have a great day.